YouTube, what's going on? Horse Racing Game here. Welcome back to Gallop Racer 2001 with a second attempt at this game on the hard difficulty. I've actually been playing even more off screen. I actually recorded all the tracks that have slopes and tracks that don't have slopes. I didn't realize there's 10 tracks in this game. 6 of them actually have no slope, but those races don't come till after May. So when I put my horses in races, I am going to try to strategize and kind of keeping them out of races between January and May if their incline rating isn't like really good, because as I said, I did more testing, and obviously horses with a mediocre, average, or below average incline rating, they're going to struggle in the races between January and May, because those 4 courses, Miami, Toronto, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C., all have slopes. And obviously that's going to take more stamina to battle those courses. So, like I said, we're going to try to focus on keeping our horses kind of very sparingly racing between January and May. After May, that's when the other 6 courses that don't have any slopes will actually start to come around on the schedule. And those courses are Phoenix, San Diego, New Orleans, Lexington, Philadelphia, and Boston. So I think this will be better. Like I said, if I get a horse with a really good incline rating that I would consider probably above 70% rating, of course that horse can probably run whatever. Like, for example, Glue Factor might be okay with some of these courses that have slopes. We're going to test him out and see how he performs. As far as Welsh Time, she obviously has a much better incline rating, so she should be okay for sure running on the courses between January and May. But like I said, I'm still going to be careful, because if putting our horses in the right races is the best thing to do, I'd rather sparingly put them in races between January and May and make sure that I can put them in all the right races on courses with no slope, which should give us a really big advantage after May. So with her, we have 10 races she can run in per year. I figure between January and May, we'll try to get her in at least 3. That way she'll still have 7 to complete the remainder of the year. And with Glue Factor, pretty much the same thing. 3 to 4 races between January and May, which really means we'll try to race these horses only once a month. That way, like I said, we can keep them with more chances and opportunities to race on the courses that don't have any slope. Should give us a better advantage at winning. So I appreciate you guys loving the support. Make sure to smash the like button. It does help out a lot. Without further ado, let's get into this episode. I also raced with these horses off screen in practice mode to see exactly when their spurts would be best timed. For Glue Factor, I noticed if I time my spurts a little bit later at 2.7, he would usually win. I think I won 2 or 3 times when I waited till 2.7. If I time my spurt at 3.0, he usually got top 3, and if I time my spurts at 3.3, he usually at least still finished in the top 5, which is weird considering that his spurt says slow for his file. With Glue Factor, we have some time with him. Fortunately, he'll mature at about 4 years old, and the same thing for Welsh Time. They'll actually both hit their peak at the same exact time, which works out for us. So that means hopefully we can retire them both around the same time. We'll stick with these 2 for a while. Like I said, we're not going to go crazy buying more horses. We'll stick with these 2, run them until I think we can retire them, and then we can breed these 2 for a new My Horse. And hopefully we'll be able to stick with that horse depending on what type of rating we get. So let's go ahead and get Glue Factor into his first race here with us. Now, like I said, I do want to be mindful of the courses. So if I can avoid some of these courses, and of course neither of these horses are G3s, so we are going to keep them in. We're going to do our best to keep them obviously in open races right now. Now, let's see. Like I said, all these courses have slopes, so like I said, if we can only race them maybe 3 or 4 times between January and May, that should be fine. So we'll go ahead and put Glue Factor in this 10 furlong race. I did test him at 10 furlongs. He does pretty well. Also, being a front runner, I kind of got the technique down in how to get these horses to the front and maintain that, and it actually does help. It does help with the spurt in this game. Like I said, this is one of the games where I may actually prefer front runners, just for the simple fact that it's different from the other Gallop racers when it comes to the speed. There's no ability, so coming from last to first is not like it is in other Gallop racer games. In this one, I think actually running towards the front is more preferred, but like I said, we'll make do with it. So we got him in his first race. Welsh Time, 3-year-old filly. Like I said, our incline rating is really good. They're very similar horses. Welsh Time is a little bit better, I think, overall in terms of her stats, except her guts and temper are okay, but they both have their spurts at the same time, which is slow. They both want to be leading, and they're going to peak at the same time, which is good. So I think sticking with these two is going to be very easy for us, and I won't have to, you know, change too much when it comes to trying to put them in the right races. So, well, she can run in virtually anything. We got Miami, got G3 for San Francisco. She can run strictly against the Phillies in that 7 furlong in San Francisco or Miami. And I think I'm probably going to do one of those two courses just because she'll be running against the girls only. So, I mean, both of the courses are pretty identical. I don't even know the difference. Let's see if she's carrying more weight here. She's 116 here. I can't imagine the weight would be different for Miami, but we'll see. Both are literally identical. So we'll just wait a little bit. We'll just go ahead and race her in that last week in Miami against the Phillies. See how she performs. This should be good. This should be good. I've done more testing, which I never really have had to do for Gallop Racer. I previously just have always been able to hop in the game and just kind of learn on the go. But since this game, like I said, is much different than the other titles, I've had to improvise, to say the least. I also want to record their overalls to see how they actually mature and improve over time. So Glue Factor starts off with a 79-77 overall. Yeah, 79-77. I believe maxed out he'll be 81-79 when I looked at his file in practice mode. And then Welsh time, fortunately for her, she can run on turf or dirt. So like I said, she's got that versatility. We can put her in whatever race is going to be best suited for her. So let's go run. And I don't, who's up next? Are they both racing today? I can't recall. We'll see. So I appreciate you guys' love and support. I will be recording an episode of Champion Jockey. Or G1 Jockey. We'll see how that series goes. Like I said, that game is also hard, especially on the hardest difficulty. I think I'll just play it on normal. I don't want to play it on easy. I think at least playing it on normal would be still somewhat of a challenge because it's still pretty hard for me on normal. And like I said, hard, I just can't win. So Welsh time. Not bad odds today. But like I said, we get her to the front. My main thing is just to place in the top 5 for most of my races. Like I said, top 5 will get us money every time we finish up there. And that keeps us alive, most importantly, so we don't go bankrupt. So that is my goal for her spurt. It appears by timing around 3 point. With her, I'll look at my spreadsheet in a second once I get her adjusted to the front here. So we're going to have her go a little bit fast here just to make sure she stays in the front. And she's struggling to lead right now. I'm trying to push her up there. This must be a fast pace because she is struggling to get up there, but it's fine. She's in the green. I would have preferred for her to be leading. It's her first race. We could have gotten a better start too. Get her going at around 3.0, it says. That's a good time for her. Yeah, I figured that was a fast pace, so we'll get her going now. Like I said, there is a slope. And maybe on these courses with slope, it may be better off for me to actually wait a little bit for their spurts. That way they have a little bit more stamina. But she's doing well right now. Welsh time, she is doing well right now. We're actually in first place. We're in first place with Welsh time, and it looks like we're already going to get our first win. We're going to get our first win with Welsh. That's a big win. 5 or 6 lengths. Finally. And just to think that I could have been doing this in the first file that I was playing this game with if I would have done my research. But like I said, I've never played a Gallop Racer where kind of doing extensive research on the courses and the horses and the spurt timing because it's so much different than the other games in the series. I never knew that was even going to be a thing here. That's a big win for us. Rider Eval 114. I didn't even know you could get over 100. I'm going to go ahead and watch that back. That's a big win, guys. That was a big win here for Welsh time. Like I said, it's just open, but that's great because in this game, for foals to be better when you create them, it all depends on how successful the parents were racing. So whether they're winning G3s, G2s, it doesn't matter. As long as they're winning and performing well, the foal will be much better. So like I said, it took some time, some research, but I think I finally have figured out the kinks of this game, and I think we're going to have a much, much, much better success on this second playthrough. We're not going bankrupt. We are not. Our first win with Welsh time. We timed her spurt at 3.0, and like I said in my notes, when I raced with her off screen, I noticed that was the best time to go with her for us to get a win. And look at Welsh time. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this game's presentation not pretty flawless in terms of its overall look and just the fluidness? It looks so much better than I would say even the other games in the series. I don't know why. This game came out in what, 2000? It's just amazing to me. The presentation of this game, I think, is by far the best and the most smoothest out of all the titles. I'm not saying it's the best game, but I think presentation wise, it definitely looks the smoothest, the most realistic. You know what I mean? Gallop 2006 is like horses not even on steroids. It's like magic ponies that can run 200 miles an hour. Anyways, decent odds here with Glue Factor. Remember, we weren't even the favorite in that race with Welsh Time. We were supposed to probably finish 5th or worse, and we ended up getting a win. So hopefully we can do the same thing here with Glue Factor. And like I said, for his spurt, I need to start a little bit later, which is weird because, like I said, their files tell you their spurts are slow, which means you need to start it sooner, but that hasn't always worked. So with him, I'll start him around 3.0 as well to feel the 14. Let's see if we can get back-to-back wins here. And I also have to keep in mind as well, to make sure I do run my horses on the right days as well. Like I said, a lot of the metrics in this game definitely affect the overall performance. So if a horse has bad conditioning, I shouldn't be racing them on a day where it's not fair conditions for the track. So we'll see. But that's a good way to start off this video and this episode. So I am happy with that. Okay, we got to get this boy to the front. We're gate position 14, so I really got to crank him here. Really got to crank him a little bit more than I would like to. But like I said, gate position 14 on a curve. That is not... That's hard. That's really hard to deal with. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. That gate position was really bad for us. He's running fast. Just trying to get him to the front here. And he should be in the green, and then he should slowly be getting to blue as soon as we overtake this horse that's in front of us. Yeah, that's hard, man. Gate position 14 on a curve. I mean, there's not much you can do except you really got to push your horse to the front. Fast pace here, so we'll have to start our spurts a little bit later with him. I don't know if we'll win, but if we get top 5, that's good enough. And like I said, I don't think I can get him in the blue. We had a long way to go. There's not much you can do when you're starting gate position 14 all the way on the outside. So 2.7, get him going right now here. See if we can hold off the field. And we'll see what we can do with Glue Factor. We're looking okay right now. I feel the field slowly coming. He's still holding off. He's holding off, but the field is coming. And here they go. That's a hard race. I think if we don't perform too well, we just 4th. We still finished 4th, I think. We just barely finished 4th. Like I said, that was a hard race, guys. You start from gate position 14 on the outside on a curve. You just have so much extra ground to cover. It's really not much you can do, but still, we get top 5, so that's a money place finish for us. Rider eval 73. That is good. That is good stuff for us. So Welsh, what track were we on? We were just on San Francisco here. I think we were in Miami with Welsh, if I'm not mistaken. But that's good. We just got basically 20. No, how many points is that? It's about 2190, something like that, or 2090. So that puts us back at 5,500 overall. That's a good start here for this episode and for both of these horses. So I think this is going to turn out pretty good. Like I said, I'm pretty sure we were at Miami for Welsh. I do want to keep track of which track she does well at. So let's go ahead and look. I meant to record that before the race ended. The race program, let's see, Flora, yes, it was Miami for Welsh. So she got first. It was Miami. Turf open at 7 furlongs, and then I believe we were in San Fran for Glue Factor that gave him a 4th place finish just now. Turf open 10 furlongs and a slope. All right, so it's a good start here. It's a very good start, actually. Now we'll see if we can build on that. We'll wait till both of these horses are ready to roll again, and they are. So Welsh Time, her rating goes up as it should. She'll be progressing. Glue Factor, he's ready to roll again. His conditioning is good, so that means we don't really have to worry about race conditions for Glue Factor. He'll pretty much be able to handle whatever we throw at him. So since he can run 9 to 12, I'm wondering if maybe doing something at 9 would be a little bit better for him. Let's do aptitude races. So he won't be racing this month. We'll get him in 11 next month. He can still handle that. Like I said, I want to sparingly race them in these first 5 months because, like I said, I think we'll have much better consistent results after May when we're racing on courses with no slope. So Glue Factor is ready to go. And Welsh time, let's see what we can do for her. 7 to 411. She can run dirt or turf, so it's just a matter of finding what race I think is most suitable for her. All right, so let's see. Now she can run dirt at the end of this month in DC. I think running her against the fillies would still probably be the best thing. So we can actually run her next month. Like I said, I don't want to run these horses in graded races unnecessarily. I'd rather dominate in open races, which is going to be better for them. It's going to be better for the foal that we create out of these two, as opposed to trying to run them in races that they probably are just not meant to run in. We'll get to that point eventually. Top 2 go to the Cherry Cup here, so this will be Miami. So I'm going to put this down. Oh, Miami again. And like I said, keeping her running against the fillies. I'm not sure how she would do against the boys, but I think she is definitely dominant amongst the girls. So this should be good for her. And then Glue Factor, he'll be running as well. So let me save right now. Like I said, that's a good start. It's just I've never had to like do the extensive amount of research that I've had to do when playing a Gallop racer game. Not to this extent, you know. I would occasionally run on a couple horses just to kind of test some things out, but I mean, you know, everything else I had to do in terms of the spurt timing in this game and the courses with slope and without slope, that was quite different. But I'm glad I did it now. I feel much more knowledgeable and I feel more confident when I'm putting these horses in their races. I feel more confident racing them, most importantly, now that I'm understanding this game a lot better. So like I said, not every Gallop racer game is this extensive where you kind of have to really do research and play around with things to figure out what's going to be the best way to try to, you know, get yourself some wins. So here we are in a field of 13. Glue Factor looking pretty good. We're expected to finish in the money here today. And we got gate position 5, which is much better. So 11 furlongs, gate position 5. We get a good start. We send them right to the front and we stay up there. And I like our silks too. I like the way the pink sleeves look, the white main body. So it should be a good race for us here. Let's see if we can actually get Glue Factor a win. We got him 4th place last time out. Let's see if we can get a 1st place win here today. And pretty good start, actually. That's exactly what we need. And like I said, we want to send him right to the front. And he's adjusting a little bit to it, but now he's there. So this is perfect. This is ideal for us. We'll slow him down a little bit just to preserve some stamina. But as long as we got the lead, Glue Factor should be pretty comfortable. We're leading by about, what, 3 or 4 lengths right now? I can't. Okay, yeah, we're leading by quite a bit. He's in the blue, which is great. So this is great. This is great, especially with our odds here today. Preserving stamina, like I said, for him, I get him going. Might even wait a little bit longer, actually. Because we did tire out in that last race when I got him started at 3.0. I might wait till 2.7 just to give him a little bit more stamina to work with on that incline. I also noticed that as well. You're probably better off starting your... It depends. It really depends. It depends on your horse's incline rating, right? Because running up the slope is going to take more stamina out of your horse. So it depends on how good their incline rating is. Since his rating isn't great, it's probably better to wait to get him going at 2.7. You know what I mean? Just so he has a little bit more to fight this slope. Okay, now we'll get him going 2.6 a little bit later. Now you hit the slope at around 2 furlongs, and we just hit it right now. Let's see how we're doing. We are battling here. Here's a side pan shot. The 8 is coming. Glue Factor still battling. We're going to put him under the whip here. See if he can finish strong. The field is coming. We should finish top 5 without a shot of a doubt. 3rd place. That's another good finish there for Glue Factor. Another solid finish. And this is all I want. I just want money finishes. Money finishes is going to keep us afloat, and it's good for the horses. And like I said, they're still maturing, so they're not even in peak form. So these results are actually good for us. Like I said, just give me time. I will figure it out in these games, man. Just this game was a lot more homework had to be done in this game than I was expecting. That's a good result though for Glue Factor. And like as you can see, I'm starting him a little bit later in these spurts. Next race, I'm gonna try to start him at 3.3. I'm gonna see if he tires out too soon. If that happens, I'm gonna see if he tires out before the line and doesn't finish in the top 5 if we start him at 3.3. But right now, it seems starting him at 2.7 or 3.0 keeps him in top 5, which is my goal. And like I said, I did extensive testing. I ran him in races off screen in practice mode to see what would keep him in the top 5. And it seems that 3.0 or 2.7 timing our spurt is the best way to keep him in the top 5. And now his rating is 79, 78 dirt. So like I said, that versatility is fantastic. That means we can potentially put him in a dirt race if we need to. Welsh time, she's ready to go. Let's see if we can get another win for her. She's running against the gals here again today in Miami on the turf. And this should be good. Should be good for us. We'll see how she does. Okay, so we're going, how many furlongs? So we're going 8 furlongs here today. Field of 12 with Welsh time. Not great odds, but again, we didn't have great odds in the last race, and we won that by a couple of lengths. So I think as long as we run a good race, like I said, the odds in this game is definitely one of those things. I was even doing some just off-screen betting in the practice mode, and my bets never came through with what the odds said. So kind of not really taking the odds as seriously as I should. Like I said, they're just all over the place, and they don't really reflect the ending results. So we're expected to finish second to last in this race with Welsh time. Now conditions are good. I can't remember if her condition rating is I can't remember what her condition rating is. I think it's pretty high. I think it is. Don't quote me. We'll look after this race. I know Glue Factor's condition rating is really high, so he would be suitable for this race. I think why we're probably a long shot here today with Welsh time is her condition rating must not be that great, which will affect her for races that obviously have rain, snow, whatever. And let's see if we can get a great start. And we get a great start with Welsh time. We punch right out to the front here, and she wants to be leading, and we did accidentally bump that horse. That's my fault. But like I said, we want to get her to the front. Preferably, she's still in the yellow, she's in the green, she should get to the blue here, and she's in the blue. So a little bit of contact there that's going to hurt our rider eval, but this should be okay. We got her to the front now. She's in the blue. She's comfortable. And let's see. This horse is literally right on my ASS. Like, I need you to move, buddy. I need you to move. But she's looking pretty comfortable right now. Like I said, we want to start our spurt with her. 3.0, 2.7. So we'll see how this works. Okay, 2.7. We'll get her going. Like I said, I don't know how this is going to end because these rainy conditions. Well, she's looking okay right now. She's still looking pretty strong. Furlong and a half to go. Here comes the 2. Here comes the 12. Just trying to finish strong with Welsh time. We're still in the money. We're still in the money. And it looks like we're still going to finish in the money. 3rd place finish. That's a great result. That is a great result. We were expected to finish second to last. And even with these unfavorable conditions for her, she finishes 3rd. Welsh time. She's going to be a good broodmare for our eventual fall. I think her and Glue Factor as a sire, I think they're going to be great together. I think our first fall is really going to be, hopefully, a really solid grade 3 horse. That's a really good result. Still, like I said, we were the second to last. We're expected to finish second to last. There's a long shot there. We end up finishing 3rd by a length. Rider eval's 84. They actually don't have contact on there, so that's interesting. I thought that would have been on there. And again, like I said, she seems to do very well running against the girls, so if I can keep her in Philly only races, I will. But yeah, okay. Her condition went up, incline and guts. That's a good result. 610 points. Like I said, once we get to 10K, we'll have a really nice cushion, which is very ideal. Let me look at her stats here. Her condition rating isn't bad, so she's not. So she can do okay. Obviously, she finished 3rd. We were supposed to finish second to last. So her condition rating is not bad. Like I said, these horses are very similar. Only difference is Welsh time has a much better incline rating, so they're very similar statistically speaking. So it's really good. All right, Glue Factor is ready to go. What month are we at? We are in March, end of March, about to be April. So only about another month of this, and then we'll be able to perform in the races with no slope, which I think should definitely give us an advantage. So Glue Factor, let's see what we can do for him. 10 furlongs today, we can run him, or we can wait till next month. Let's actually wait till next month. I want to run him in 9 to see how he does with a shorter distance here. And this will be in Miami. We haven't ran him in Miami yet. This will be his first time this season, so we'll see how he likes it out there. Going 9 furlongs. And Welsh time, we'll wait till she is blue and ready to go. Breeding season has started. Yeah, I know. We'll get to it next season, for sure. Okay, Welsh time. She's ready to go again. So 7 into 11. Like I said, I kind of want to keep running her with the girls if we have that, if we're fortunate to do so. And we got another 10 furlong race. She can run in a G1, but I know she's not a G1 horse at all. This would be completely pointless. I don't want to give her a bad performance as much as it's always tempting to put your horses in graded races when they're available, because every horse is not able to run them. You know, these races sometimes don't even pop up, but like I said, we have to be smart here. We know she's not a grade 1 horse, let alone even a grade 3 horse right now. Maybe once she peaks at her once she's at her top potential, maybe she'll be able to run in a grade 3. But right now we'll stick to running her against the girls. It was a grade 2, but like I said, I'm sticking to the rating system. That did work. I tried running horses with these ratings in higher stakes races. They did not perform well, even if I did my best. So we got to stick to it. There's a reason why there's different classes in this game. So we'll get her in this open race here, 10 furlongs, Toronto. This will be her first time testing out that track. See how she performs there. Open, 10 furlongs. Of course, all these tracks have slopes. She's running against the gals again, so it should be good. Okay, and I believe we are racing now with Glue Factor. Here we go. Been a good start to this episode. We finished in the money. We've raced... How many times? We've raced 4 times so far. We have finished in the money, 4 for 4. Welsh time. Again, her odds are not really reflective on her performance, so we need to take it with a pinch of salt. We're expected to finish in 8th or 9th in this field. Let's see if we can defy the odds here and finish in the money again or potentially win. It's a short field, only a field of 11 compared to the 14 horse fields that seem to happen often in this game. Gate position 11 though, so we'll be starting from the outside, so we really got to get her out strong. It's the only problem with the horse that wants to lead. If you get an outside position, you really got to make sure you get a great start so you can overtake all the horses to the inside of you. And again, we're on the curb, so we got to get her out fast here. Not the greatest of starts, but I really got to push her to the front. Really got to push her to the front here, like I said, because this curve, we got to push her to the front to handle this curve, and she handled it actually quite well. She handled that much better than Glue Factor did when he had that outside gate position. So, well, it's time, man. I'm liking her. I'm liking this filly so far. She is pretty easy to work with. She gets to the front pretty effortlessly as well. Tongue twister there. And we just want to keep her in front. So this should be good again. I think Glue Factor, I said I was going to wait a little bit later to start his spurt next race. Obviously for Welsh time, she definitely seems best to go a little bit later at 3.0 or 2.7. May try her 3.0 today just to see if we can get a little bit of a start. Just to see if we can hold on. So 3.0, we're going to get her going right now. And we'll get her going at 3.0. Let's see if we can maintain this. 2 furlongs to go. Let's see if we can hold on. And see how the field is looking behind us. The 7 is coming. The field is coming. Here comes the 3, looking really strong. Let's see if we can hold them off here. Second place. We almost won that. We almost won. It just makes me wonder if we started at 3.3, would she have won that race? Probably not, because her stamina was dropping even at that rate. I think if we started her at 3.3, we would have finished worse than that. Photo finish, we still get second place. That's still a good effort. She has finished first, second, and third in her first 3 races with us, which is great. She broke her maiden already in her first race, and she's had third and second place finishes back to back here. Well, it's time. She's looking good. She's looking really good. Like I said, I think if we were to go at 3.3, I don't know. Like I said, on my notes, 3.3 didn't really work out for her, unfortunately. Top 3, she would either have to start at 3.0 or 2.7. So I think we'll stick to that for her. And Glue Factor, we're going to try to start him this time a little bit earlier, actually, I should say. We'll start him at 3.3 for his race to see if we can actually win and hold off the field. So here we are again with Glue Factor here. We're doing good. We're doing good. This is how the first attempt at this game should have went, but like I said, didn't do my research. I didn't know half of the stuff I know now, which was actually very imperative to know. And we're actually second favorite here today. Second favorite here, which means we could definitely win this race with glue factor. So I gotta be careful with the spurt. It depends how fast the pace is. I figure if the pace is fast, it means we'll be using more stamina, which means I may have to wait a little bit. I don't know. I need to think about this. I'll let the post parade go through as I think. If the pace is fast, we'll be using up more stamina, which means I technically should probably wait a little bit to start our spurt to keep us at maximum speed a little bit longer. If the pace is slower mid, I can go a little bit sooner because we should have more stamina to spare, which means we may just tire out as we hit the line, but we could still potentially hold first place. Yeah, it depends on the pace. So we'll see how the pace is at the half. Based off of that, we'll decide if we'll go a little bit earlier or sooner for our spurt. Gate position 2, though, which is great. All we gotta do is get a great start, get to the front here. Okay, so let's make sure we get glued to the front here. Gotta get him to the front. Get him to the front. Get him to the front. He's just now getting up there. Okay. So that works out for us. We'll drop him. Hold him back a little bit just to preserve some stamina. Don't want this horse to pass us, so we got to keep glue in the front. He's in the blue. This is good. This is really good. This is really good. Good, excuse me. I was going to say something else as far as when we want to start our spurt here in order to try to keep this lead. Now, if we're just winning by a nose ahead at the wire, I could care less. I don't need to win by a couple of lengths. Getting a win is getting a win. So, that was a fast pace. Okay, we'll start him right now at 3.0. I could have tried him a little bit sooner. Like I said, I wanted him to have a little bit more stamina going up this slope. But 1.9 to go. The field is coming. 1.4. He's still maintaining. Glue factor is still maintaining, but the field is coming. Here they come. And we're not going to get this race. Golly, he completely gassed out. Ah, man, he completely gassed out. So in that case, if we would have went sooner, I think we would have gassed out even sooner, clearly. He barely had enough to even stay at the finish line. It's a little disappointing there for glue factor. Like I said, the odds in this game, they don't reflect the performance. When we've had worse odds, we have finished much better. And then we get placed as the second favorite and we come in 8th. Yeah, no doubt with a fast pace, I probably should have waited till maybe even 2.5. Because with a fast pace, I should have waited. He doesn't have as much stamina as Welsh Time does, that's for certain. So I think with him, we're going to have to wait to go at 2.7. In fact, I should probably take 3.3 out of there. Like I said, even when I did that off screen, best he finished was like 5th or 6th when we got him going too soon. So we'll wait a little bit with glue factor to get him going on his spurts next time out. But we're still looking good. We have officially reached May, which means after this month, all these courses with these slopes should finally kind of be making their way out of the schedule. So glue factor's ready to go again. Now that was 9 furlongs. We'll see if we can get him maybe in another 9 furlong race here. May, there's 11 he can do. And there's 8.5 he can do next month. In New Orleans, which doesn't have a slope. I kind of want to see how he handles the dirt. So we're going to go ahead and put him in that race. See how he responds to the dirt. So let me go ahead and put this in my spreadsheet. No slope, which is good. So I just want to see how he responds to the dirt to see if that's an option. It should be. His turf and dirt rating are not that much different. So he should respond relatively okay to it. And then Welsh Time, she's ready to go again. We'll see what we can do with her. So these G1s and G2s, it's really hard to just be like, we're not doing that. It's not in the best interest for the horse. So DC, we can run our 11, which I don't know. I don't really want to do that. I would prefer to put her in this 7 furlong race because everything else is kind of out of the question next month. We can try running her on the dirt as well at the end of June, see how she performs there. She'll have a handicap. We'll see if that affects her or not. But we'll go ahead and take this race in San Fran. And this will be on the turf, 7 furlongs. That's where she won her first race. 7 furlongs may be the best setting for her speed. Alright, so let's go ahead and save again. Just because I want to make sure this is progress that needs to be saved. Oh man. This is a much better playthrough of this game this time. You know, hindsight's 2020. Obviously, if I would have started off this way, I didn't realize this game was. I was under the assumption this game played exactly like every other Gallop racer, and it does not at all. By far, it does not. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it now that I understand things more. Clearly, I think they put a little bit more effort into this game in regards to some metrics and the algorithms of how things work. So better odds here today with Welsh Time, as we should be. She seems to like shorter distances better. 7 furlongs. We are the 6th favorite. We're expected to finish just outside the money as a field of 12. We can definitely finish in the money. So, yeah, we'll see how she does. Gate position 12. We're right next to the favorite, which is the 11, Helena Sis. So, again, like we always have to do with Welsh Time, we got to get her out to a really fiery start, get her to the front, settle her soon. Make sure she's comfortable and settle her soon. I don't want to spend half the race trying to get her comfortable. So let's get her out. Great start, at least from this position. So, like I said, we got to really push her to the front here. Push her to the front. I did not want to bump that horse. That's my fault. That is totally my fault. I did move just a little too much there, but she's in the blue. She's in the blue. She's in the blue. We're running on the outside a little bit more than I would like to. Like I said, we'll try to wait to get her going a little bit later so we can have a little bit more in the end. She's in the green right now. And this is fine. We'll let these horses do what they do. Okay, here we go. 2.5. We waited a little bit longer. That way she'll have more stamina to work with. Let's see what this filly can do. Welsh Time here. She's running against the boys for the first time. Let's see how she's performing. We got to beat the 11 and we got to beat the 6. This is going to be a photo finish at the wire for Welsh Time. Are we going to get up there? Just barely got up there. Second place. That was a tough race. That was a tough race. Like I said, I figured running against the boys may be a little bit of a challenge for her, but she still was able to do absolutely amazing there. I think if that was a filly-only race, we would have definitely won that by a couple of lengths. Helena Sis just barely got the win. We barely got second. Again, Welsh Time has been on a roll. She has not finished worse than third in her 4 lifetime starts so far. So she is doing absolutely amazing for us. This is going to be great for her record and her breeding profile. So that's another good effort for Welsh Time. I figured it out, people. I finally figured it out. As you can see, we are producing results, and this is still on hard difficulty. I wasn't going to change that regardless, because in order to get the best foals in this game, you need to play on normal or hard, and I figured I might as well play on hard anyways, because if you play on easy, your foal's potential is going to be limited, which again doesn't always happen in every Gallop racer game. So Glue Factor, he is ready to go here. We're racing in New Orleans, our first track with no slope, and we're racing on the dirt. So we'll see how he handles the change in surface, and with no slope, we'll see if we have a better stretch run with him. Like I said, I'm gonna wait a little bit later with him too. I'll maybe try to get him going at 2.5. We're racing in Hong Kong, New Orleans, Hong Kong here, and his odds are okay, middle of the field. So we're expected to finish 7th or 8th. We can finish much better than that. We'll see. We're right next to the favorite Gray Knight. We have a good gate position at 3. So if we break out early as we should here, get to the front, we shouldn't have much struggles maintaining that position. And then, like I said, we'll just wait to time our spurt at about 2.5. Save him a little bit of stamina. See how he rolls. This is first run on the dirt. Let's see how Glue Factor performs. And off we go. Pretty good start for him. As usual, let's make sure we focus on getting him to the front. He's going to use a little bit of stamina to get there, and these horses next to me, they are not allowing me to get to the front here. I thought I was going to be able to get to the front, and they did not allow me to do so at all, which is unusual. Now we got to worry about not bumping these horses on the curb. This is not what I want. And I was pushing him pretty heavy to go to the front. You guys saw I was on the reins pretty heavy, and those horses next to us, they were not allowing it to happen. So we pace is mid. We took about half of this race just to even get him to the front, which he's just about to get right now, just to see if I can get him in the blue. I don't think this is going to be good. I was not expecting those horses to keep up with us like that. Now Okay, 2.4, 2.3, a little bit late, but we'll see how he handles this on the dirt here. And that was, it's not ideal. It's not ideal. I don't know how this is going to perform for us. Like I said, we couldn't get him to the front at all. He really struggled. He really struggled there. I don't know if the dirt is the best thing for him. The odds weren't great in general. I thought we could have performed better, but maybe the dirt is not ideal. Favorite didn't end up winning. We had contact. That was a tough race. That was a really tough race. He struggled to get to the front. He really, really did. So that's 2 out of the money finishes for Glue Factor. 8th and 10th. Those are the last 2. Not a shot of a doubt. Got to get him to the front. That race, it was very tough. Very tough to get him to the front. Wells time is ready to go. Glue Factor's also ready to go. Let's get him in another race here. Wasn't the greatest result on the dirt. So let's see what we can do for him here. In June, 10.5 on the dirt again in DC with a slope. I don't know. I think, well, Lexington doesn't have a slope and is on the turf. So I think we'll just go ahead and do that. We'll try to avoid the dirt just because that wasn't a good result. Wells time, she's ready to go. And like I said, we're going to try her on the dirt for the first time as well. Should be towards the end of this month. 10.5 furlongs. She can run at 10.5. This will be in DC. So we'll see how she performs with that. Open, going 10.5 with no slope. Oops. Oh no, DC does have a slope. I apologize. Yeah, I was hoping that was going to be a little bit of a better result for Glue Factor. Fortunately, it was not. But we'll see what happens here. And again, what race was that? New Orleans. New Orleans definitely doesn't have a slope. I felt like there was a slope there, but... So we got these 2 races here. We're looking good, though. We got 7,200 points. So we continue to finish in the top 5 with Welsh time. That'll be good. Like I said, we definitely have enough money for breeding when that time comes around. I'm still not going to buy another horse. We're not doing that. We're not buying another horse. We're sticking with these 2 until we're going to retire them. Only once we have enough money to play around with buying several horses like we can in Gallop Racer 3 is when we will do that. Until then, we got to stick with the horses we got and try to get our best forms out of them. Welsh time, better odds here today. But like I always say, the odds are hardly reflective of the overall performance and the end result. So like I said, her turf and dirt ratings are exactly the same. So she can run on dirt just as well as she can run on turf. 6 Me is the favorite, the one. Such a funny name. She's got gate position 9 here for Welsh time, so we got to, as usual, get her out. But she gets out. I think she gets out better to the front. Her braking ability, is her braking ability higher than Glue Factor? I'll have to double check. I think her braking is better. So, oh gosh, she does. Yeah, she punches right out. She is amazing at her starts, and she gets right to the front without any issues at all. Yeah, Wells time, she's a solid filly, man. She's a really solid filly. We'll slow her down here just to get her pace back to normal. We'll get her stamina, preserve her stamina a little bit. Yeah, she's looking good right now. She's looking good right now. We're racing in DC. This course does have a slope, as you can see. We're going down it right now. It's unfortunate you go down the slope on the back straight and then you have to come up that incline on the front end of the stretch. Slow pace though, which is good, so this should work out for us. Her stamina is just about halfway through, so we're going to wait a little bit late for her spurt as well, if we can manage to do so. Like I said, we are hugging the rail here. We have nobody else to compete with us. I could try to get out early. I don't know if I want to do that though. Like I said, we'll wait till about 2.7 because we're still maintaining the lead. We are still doing fine. Nobody is catching us yet. We can wait till 2.0, and we're going to go right now. 2.0, we could actually wait. Now, she's in the gray. I don't know why she's in the gray, but we are fighting off these horses a furlong to go. I don't know who that is coming up on the outside. Let's see if she can finish. Wells time looking for another win. We're going to get it. We're just going to get it. Wow. We just hung on there. Starting at 2.0, I figured nobody was passing us. Nobody was even close. If the field was coming, I would have gotten us a little bit sooner just to try to keep her ahead. But I'm like, okay, the field is barely coming right now. So I think we timed it right. There's another win, her first win on the dirt there for Welsh Time. 5 lifetime starts. She's already got 2 wins under her belt, 2 places in 1 show. She is turning into a fine filly indeed. And I'm glad I bought her. Remember, I was hesitating on buying her in the last episode. I'm so glad I did. And we just hang in there. 101 rider eval. Welsh Time is doing absolutely fantastic for us. Definitely appears starting our spurts later with her is better in general. Like I said, the game says I should be starting sooner, but clearly that's not working. And that's a big 2,400 points. That is a big win. That is a big win. 2,400 points. That's going to put us close to 10K in points. This has been amazing. This has been absolutely amazing so far. A great start. And like I said, these are on horses that are running in open races. Wait till we get graded stakes winners. Wait till we get solid G3 and G2s and eventually G1s, man. It's going to be a wrap. Glue Factor is ready to go. Let's go ahead and get him in this race. Let's see if we can do better with him this time out. Like I said, I don't think we should be going late. I don't think we should be going sooner with Glue Factor. I think we have to stick to starting his spurts no earlier than 3.0. I think if we start any earlier, he's going to tire out. Now here, better odds here today, 10 furlongs. Like I said, I think the turf definitely suits him better. We're racing in Lexington, no slope as well. So like I said, with that being said, we could maybe start him a little bit earlier. Because a lot of the stamina, the problem with the tracks that have slope is a lot of their stamina is, taken away once they hit that slope and that incline. But here, on this track without an incline at all, we may be able to get him going sooner because he'll be able to maintain that stamina longer without having to worry about fighting uphill. So it's a field of 10. The favorite is the 9, Rubita O. We got gate position 3. We got to get him to the front. He's been struggling to get to the front in the last 2 races. Let's see if we can get a good start. Meant to check his braking rating again to see, but let's see if we can get him to the front here. Okay, that's a better start. Like I said, we got to get him to the front. I really got to push him, and he gets to the front pretty effortlessly here today. So that's good. Jockey's already on the whip on that horse. Okay, we got to get Glue Factor to the front here. And he should be in the blue, and he's in the blue. All right. Well, that was a pretty good beginning. Had to get him up there just a little bit, give him a little sense of urgency, but we're comfortable right now. He's in the green. I don't know why he's in the green. We're at the front. Were we going too slow or too fast? Like, what? Why is he not? Okay, I was going to say, he should be in the blue. So apparently we were going a little too fast. Fast pace, I figured. I'm like, he's in the front. What else could he be dissatisfied about? But the pace was a little too fast for him, which is fine. So, we're going to start this spurt at 3.3. We're going to start right now to see how he handles this. Because if we finish outside of the money or something worse, then obviously we know that's probably not best. And we got a huge lead now. I don't know how long we're going to be able to maintain this with Glue Factor. 1 furlong to go. The field is going to start coming. Half a furlong. We're still maintaining. Can Glue Factor get his first win? Come on. Hang in there. Glue Factor just got a win. Holy crap. The 8 was coming. The 8 was coming. That was Rubita O, the favorite. It worked out for us. I guarantee if this track had a slope, we would have not won that race. He would have been gassed out as soon as he hit that incline. Because remember, his incline rating isn't great. His incline rating is not great. That's why I wanted to kind of preserve more of his races for after the tracks with the slopes kind of start weeding themselves out of the racing schedule. And we get our first win with Glue Factor here in Lexington on the turf. No slope, 10 furlongs. That's a good win. That's a good win for Glue Factor. Just got up there, 93 rider eval, fast pace. Yeah, like I said, clearly, if the track doesn't have a slope, we can get him going a little bit sooner. That should just get us across the wire to win or maybe a second place. If that track had a slope, we're coming in 4th, 5th, maybe even out of the money if we started that early. We're officially over 1,100 points. The first time in this game, I'm actually over 10K. Like I said, I'm still not buying any more horses. I'm not. I refuse. I like these 2 horses right now. I think I'm doing what we're doing amazing with Welsh Time. I think we're going to start getting in a groove here with Glue Factor. Remember, both of these horses are still going to mature over the next year. Zero reason to buy other horses as long as we can continue to place in the top 5 with these 2. And this has been good. this has been a good start to this replay of the series. I think on that note, I'm actually going to end it here. It's only been about 50 minutes or so, but I do want to edit this video, make sure I can get it out to you guys, because sometimes if I record these too late, I'm way too tired to edit by the time I'm done recording, and then that's why the video won't actually come out the next day like I want it to, or same day. So I'm going to end it right here. Appreciate you guys' love and support. I've always enjoyed this game. I've been enjoying this game, even when I was struggling. It's just it's hard to say. It was fun, but it wasn't fun for the simple fact that I wasn't understanding how differently this game plays compared to other Gallop racers. Now that I took the time to do research off screen and record some data and figure out what actually works, now I feel like I'm actually in a groove here and I can produce these efforts. And of course, when it comes to looking for horses, I'm still going to stick to my metrics. I'm always going to look for horses with at least a 50 or above incline rating, which means their bar is going to be halfway full. If it's below that, I'm not even going to take a chance on the horse regardless, because I've ran on horses with bad incline ratings and they were great everywhere else. They still struggled. The incline is still a big deal in this game, especially when you're racing on tracks that have, like I said, those inclines. For the tracks with no slopes, obviously not a big deal for the most part, but still, the incline is essentially quote-unquote stamina for the most part, and that also depends on pacing, where your horse likes to run. It's a lot of metrics, but for sure, I still prefer horses in this game with a good incline rating. Like I said, it means they can handle virtually any course all year round. It's just a matter of, like I said, keeping them out of those races with those inclines. For the most part, putting them in those races very sparingly, and then making sure that we save the rest of their schedule for races with no slopes. And as you can obviously see, the strategy has worked with Glue Factor. He got his first win on a track with no slope. We started at about 3.3. He was just gassing out at the wire, but he had just enough to hold on. I don't know what would have happened if we started sooner, or if we started later. I think if we started later, we could have potentially gotten caught. I don't know how that race would have turned out. It's still sometimes tricky to know. But for sure, we started at 3.3 right there, and he just had enough at the wire. So maybe 3.0 is still safe. It still might be the safest bet. It depends on the pace, too. You got to keep in mind. I think that race that we just won with Glue Factor was a very fast pace. So that can also dictate whether or not you should start your spurts sooner or later. But like I said, appreciate you guys' love and support as always, and like I said, just a reminder, we'll be live streaming again. I don't know when exactly. Of course, stay tuned to the community tab. That's when I'll post the next time I live stream, and we'll be playing, like I said, probably harness. We'll be doing a harness horse racing season mode with Final Stretch 1, because Horse Racing Manager 2, it is just the horse racing mechanics for the harness mode is broken. Somebody said they were going to work on it. I think Leighton Maury or something said they were going to try to work on it. I'm still wishing you luck with that. I'm pretty sure it's not as simple as you may have initially thought, but if you figure it out, that would be great. You can share it with us and the rest of the community. But that's going to do it. Horse Racing Gamers, until next time, all you have a great and fantastic day. See ya, and goodbye.